At the time of this recording, I am 1 month away from turning 50. I've got 4 kids, a demanding profession. I feel like the best I've ever felt. I mean, there is a way to be a working mom, to manage stress, to have time for yourself, to crush your job, and have close relationships with your kids. And in this video, I'm going to tell you the mistakes I made along the way so that you can get to this place a lot faster than I did. I mean, I know what you're going through. And you feel like you're sacrificing one part of your life to keep the other part from falling apart. You feel like no matter what you do, something or someone is getting shortchanged. I know because I used to feel that too. But I finally got to a place where it feels like everything is in alignment and flowing smoothly from my role as an active and engaged mom, my professional career, and as I'm moving through this perimenopause thing, my physical health and my wellness. It just took me a bit. I spent a lot of time in school. My career is demanding. And did I say I have 4 kids? I've made my share of mistakes. I've missed moments. I've wrestled with guilt. But I've also built a strong, connected family that's thriving today. And more than that, I feel really good. So in this video, I want to share the biggest lessons I've learned as a working mom. The things I got right, what I got wrong, and the things that I wish someone had told me earlier when my kids were younger and I was an emerging professional, so that maybe you don't have to learn the hard way like I did. Hey, I'm Dr. Lori Slapizio, and I help working moms excel both professionally and personally. Okay, here's some quick background. My oldest is 22, and at the time of this video, will graduate from USC in about 3 weeks. My second is 20, playing football at Cornell. I have a daughter who's 17, currently looking at colleges where she hopes to play basketball, and a 14-year-old son about to be in high school. I am a proud mom of 4 incredible kids who are doing incredible things in the world. So I've been in it. I mean, you could say I'm still in it. And I might argue when it comes to parenting and being a mom, you'll never not be in it. That's why you learning these lessons early is going to be a game changer. So let's get to those lessons. Lesson number 1. The first lesson took me too long to learn, and that is you can't force quality time. You need quantity. This is a huge misconception with parenting. I mean, for years, I believed what a lot of parents are taught to believe. I think it's what we want to believe, that if I carved out just a few intentional savoring moments with my kids each week, family dinners, scheduled one-on-ones, those so-called big conversations that I orchestrated, that's what I would need for the quality parenting and connection to just show up. I mean, that's what we're fed. Quality over quantity, they say. Well, sure, quality relationships with our kids is the goal, but here's the honest truth. Those magical breakthrough moments almost never happened when I planned them. I mean, the turning point for me was when I realized that you can't schedule real connection with your kids. You can't force your kid to open up during a 30-minute dinner that you penciled in between meetings or check an email. You can't prime your toddler to do something super cute that you'll talk about 20 years later on your timeline. Life doesn't work that way, and kids definitely don't work that way. So what I realized is that quality can't be scheduled. Kids are unpredictable. They open up when they're ready, not when you are. Real moments, the ones where they surprise you, where they crack open a little window into who they are becoming, those happen when you're just around, when you're folding laundry together, when you're driving to practice, when you're sitting next to them watching a show they love that you don't understand at all. I mean, we've been fed this idea that quality moments are all that matter, but that only works if you show up enough to catch those quality moments when they happen. And if you're only showing up occasionally, you're going to miss most of them. So here's the action. You have to find ways for more quantity and then embrace the quantity that is motherhood. More shared time, even if it's not glamorous or picture perfect. In fact, especially if it's not glamorous or picture perfect. Now, I know hearing this might feel overwhelming. You're probably thinking, you want me to be around more, be more present? I barely have enough time to pee alone. And I get it. The last thing any working mom needs is another thing they're not doing right that demands more time. But hear me out. This isn't about doing more. It's not about clearing your calendar or adding more pressure to be some perfectly attentive parent. You can't invent more time. I know that. You can't force deep, magical moments of connection. But you can shift how you think about the time you already have. So stop resisting the small, messy, repetitive moments, like the 20th time of watching Frozen, or the 100th 10-minute drive to practice, and start seeing them as valuable. And be all in those moments. So get off your phone on that drive to practice and allow the moment to happen. Not because they're extraordinary, but because they're accessible. And I can tell you now, as my kids are becoming adults in the world, it's those ordinary moments that we still talk about. Don't wait for perfect parenting moments. Just give yourself and your kids more chances, because the real breakthroughs, they usually happen in the cracks between everything else. I'm going to give you a little side lesson to this. That's your kids love you being there. They may act like they don't, especially when they're teenagers or in that tween age, but they do. They likely have their headphones on. They're not paying attention, but they know you're there. And one moment, when they take those headphones off and share something with you or ask for your advice, those are golden. So keep showing up when you can. You will not regret the quantity of time you put in to your role as a mother. Okay, the next lesson, kind of related, but this is an important one to remember, and that is kids don't follow your schedule. They have their own. This is one thing I wish someone had told me early on. Kids don't live on our schedules. They never have, and they never will. Forcing it is like forcing a square peg in a round hole. From toddlers who suddenly need to go to the bathroom after they've been fully buckled into the car and all zipped up and dressed, to school projects that they forgot about until 48 hours before they're due, to the teenagers who decide they're ready to talk, really talk, right when you're about to crawl into bed. Parenting doesn't follow your calendar, it disrupts it. And as working moms, we're not just managing our time and schedule, which is already maxed out, we're constantly adapting to their timeline too, and that can feel impossible. So this is related to that quantity thing, right? If you always stick to your schedule, you're gonna miss those moments. Connection doesn't knock at the most convenient time. Sometimes it knocks when you've already washed your face, turned off the lights, and mentally checked out. And that's when the choice comes in. Do I hold tight to my boundaries, or do I bend just a little to let them in? For a while, I held tight to bedtime boundaries and schedule, but then I realized that I needed to be more flexible. Kids don't schedule their emotions. They open up when they feel safe and when they feel ready. And safety often happens in between moments, when the world is quiet, when they're decompressing, and when you seem available. So here's a lesson. You don't have to say yes every single time. You don't have to sacrifice your sleep every night. But when they invite you in, say yes more often than no. The moment is likely going to be inconvenient for you. I will promise you that. But it's sacred to them. It's not a disruption, it's access to you, and you get access to their world, their thoughts, their questions, their worries. And if they know you'll sit with them, even just for 5 minutes, they'll come to you again and again. And that's how connection grows. You don't want to have a house with no rules and no bedtime and no boundaries. Of course not. That would be terrible. But you've got to recognize that their schedule operates very differently than our schedule. And trying to align it is just going to cause headaches. So work on your flexibility. That way you're not missing something when it matters to them. Okay, here's a huge one, lesson number 3. Huge, huge, huge. You have to ask for help, and you have to be clear about what you need. There is this unspoken belief that as moms, especially working moms, we should just be able to juggle it all. The jobs, the meals, the appointments, the emotional labor, the scheduling. You cannot do it all. And if you can't do it all, well, then something's wrong with you. Here's the truth. Trying to do it all without help isn't heroic. It is a fast track to burnout. And still, so many of us don't ask for help. Maybe we feel guilty. Maybe we don't want to seem like we're struggling. Maybe we just don't even know what to ask for. But here's what I've learned. You have to ask, you have to plan for it, and you have to be specific with what you need. I was the worst at this, at asking for help. Not just asking for it, but accepting it. Especially when my kids were little. I felt like they always needed me. They wanted me. I was the only one who could comfort them, tuck them in, give them what they needed. That belief made it really hard to say yes to support, even when it was right there. I'd skip work events. I'd rearrange everything to be there, even if they had loving grandparents, aunts, uncles, friends ready to step in. Looking back, I realized something really important. They would have been okay. More than that, they would have been okay seeing other people show up for them and show up for me, because that's how we teach our kids, that love isn't limited just to us, that support is a community thing, that mom can go after her dreams and they'll still be cared for. So yes, we need to ask for help, but we also need to let our kids see us accept it. That's how they learn to trust others, to be flexible, and to know that their world doesn't fall apart when mom chooses herself for a moment. And think about it this way, saying yes to help isn't just for you, it's for them too. I'm going to tell you, your kids don't need you every second. They need to see you whole. Okay, here's the truth. Lesson 4, it's almost always hard. So stop being surprised by the storm and learn how to weather it. I mean, here's what no one tells you, but you probably know. Being a working mom is almost always hard. Not sometimes, not occasionally, pretty much all the time. And the mistake we make is expecting it to eventually get easier, or thinking that if it's hard, we're doing something wrong. Hard doesn't mean broken, it just means life. Working mom life. A life full of demands, deadlines, emotions, dishes, dinners, and beautiful, messy kids who need you. I mean, this was huge for me, and what changed wasn't the chaos, it was how I prepared for it. When you know a storm is coming, you don't stand outside and complain. You grab an umbrella, you put on a jacket, you prepare. And that's what I started doing. I stopped waiting for things to get easier and started building the tools I needed to handle the hard better. Boundaries, energy management, communication skills, mindset shifts, support systems. These aren't luxuries, they're essentials. You can build the skills to handle the storm. You don't have to live in survival mode. You don't have to feel like you're failing. You don't have to live in constant overwhelm. You can be healthy, productive, and deeply connected to your kids and your family, even in those hard seasons. But it takes learning, and I do have a program called Moms Rising. It's a program designed by working moms for working moms. It's the toolkit that I wish I had, the one that I now use to coach others and build capacity. So if this video hits home, check out in the description. It might be the exact program that you're looking for. Okay, the final lesson. All of this, the boundaries, the tools, the asking for help, the late night conversation, they all come back to one thing: your mindset. The final lesson is that your mindset is your superpower. And once I realized how much control I actually have over my mindset, and I started nurturing and building it, everything changed. Because if you want to stop just surviving motherhood and start rising through it, nurturing, growing, and strengthening your mindset is where it all begins. This is the final and maybe most important lesson. And you'll see how your mindset helps you with all the first 4 lessons. So when you stop expecting it to be easy, but preparing for yourself to be powerful, that's just a mindset shift. You don't need a break from your life. You need better tools to live it. And your mindset is a tool. And I didn't realize that I was capable of training it. So when things got hard, I would go into fix-it mode. I'd scramble, I'd try to organize better, plan more, juggle faster. My to-do lists were everywhere, believing that if I just found the right system, the stress would go away. But here's what I learned. You can't control the chaos of kids, careers, hormones, homework, and the never-ending mental load, but you can control how you show up in it. I want to say that again. You cannot control all the things that happen to you, but you can control how you show up when those things happen. Everything changed for me when I realized that my mindset was my strongest muscle. I couldn't make life less busy, but I could make myself more equipped. Instead of fighting the hard, I started training for it, mentally, emotionally, and physically. That meant reframing moments of frustration into moments of connection. It meant letting go of perfection and replacing it with presence. And it meant choosing gratitude, not because everything was good, but because I could find something good inside everything. I mean, before I had kids, working out was my whole life. I was a college basketball coach. I was a personal trainer. When I had kids, working out was still part of my identity. I had a memory of 90-minute workout sessions with weights and cardio, and then going to play basketball, and then doing yoga. I mean, that was my release. That was how I stayed sane. But as life shifted, I had to reframe what a workout meant because I didn't have 90 minutes to 3 hours in the day to devote to my exercise and fitness. Workout success started to look different. 15 minutes of breaking a sweat when I had 4 kids under 9 was a win, and I treated it like a win. When my teenager starts talking at 9:30 p.m., instead of thinking, why now, I think, how lucky am I that they still want to talk to me? When I feel like napping, I don't see it as a weakness anymore. I see it as a reset. That's the reframe. Mindset isn't about magical thinking. It's not pretending things aren't hard. It's choosing how you see them and how you respond. Like any muscle, it takes practice. It takes self-awareness. It takes grace. It takes self-compassion. You need to give yourself latitude. But once you build it, mindset becomes your anchor. It's the thing that allows you to stay grounded in chaos while showing up with compassion and to believe on those hard days that you can do this. So all of these lessons aren't about being overly positive. It's about being powerful in your perspective. It's shifting how you think about how you show up, recognizing that quantity is a beautiful thing, recognizing that your schedule and your kid's schedule may be completely opposed, but that's okay. Knowing you can ask for help, and it's okay to tell people exactly how you want to be helped, and then you can nurture and strengthen your mindset. So those are the lessons. I hope you take some to heart. If they're helpful, let me know in the comments what works for you, if you have other questions. And if you want to build your capacity as a professional working mom, check out the Moms Rising page. The motherhood myth that it's got to be miserable, it's just a myth. Here's to you and all you do. I know how hard it is. There's ways to come out happier and healthier on the other side. Thank you. I'm Dr. Lori Sulpizio. I'll see you in the next video.